welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well and I hope you had a lovely weekend. This week I am all about Jesmonite, homeware, functional, trivets, trays, coasters. Let's go. You would have already seen the thumbnail, so in this video we are going cute toadstools. Now I'm using the same bottles that I used for the Christmas ones that I made, but I actually don't end up using those metal spouts. They're so much easier to use without them, and I'm using these silicone trays. Everything will be linked down below. Now the first thing I have to tell you is that this process was long because I'm piping Jesmonite into these molds. Again, it's a long process, so I actually start with the white. You would already know we're doing toadstools, so I'm starting with the white dots after I've mixed up my Jesmonite, which I am mixing up the correct ratio. I am doing the 1 to 2.5. That's a common question I get when I do these videos. I always use the correct ratio of 1 to 2.5. So this is the white. Now needed a really steady hand for this, but in my head I could see 3 little toadstools sitting side by side, with the middle one being slightly taller. That was the exact vision that I had for these trays, and who does not love the image of that red toadstool with the white dots? I just absolutely loved it, and I just thought this is going to be so cute. So here I am. I took off the metal, like I said, the metal tube. They're so tricky to clean, especially with Jesmonite. If they go hard for even a second, it's almost impossible to then get them clean again. And I thought, we can do this without, because really the spout on these bottles, these are miniature squeezy bottles. I'll have them linked below. And that is it. So I'm just doing the white dots at this point. Like I said, it's time consuming because this is a layered piece. We're doing white dots first, followed by the red, followed by the white stem, followed by the backing, filling them up. So it is a time-consuming project, but so worth it. This is the one where I was like, I'm not sure where I'm going with those mushrooms. They look a little bit off to me, not quite so central, but I figured we could work with it and, I don't know, call them wonky mushrooms or something. Who knows? So here I am adding the red. Now there were definitely things I've learned from doing this video that I will share with you, but as I'm doing this red, I'm trying to just do the outline first and then fill in, making sure, because I'm very aware that adding Jesmonite to Jesmonite, you could create air pockets around, I could potentially create air pockets around those white dots, and I really didn't want to do that. But similarly, you can't really shake or tap this at this point because I don't want to dislodge the white dots. So I'm just going slowly. This is very sped up, actually. This is super speedy. I'm going really slowly to get the outline the way I want it before going in and filling up in and around those white dots really carefully. So that was key for me doing this particular project. But honestly, even just doing this, I was just going to move on, but now I can't move on. Now the whole week is going to be this kind of thing, not toadstools, but this kind of thing, because I'm excited to try other designs, really functional, bright designs for the kitchen. That's my plan. This is the tray that really got me, and even after demold, I'm not sure I love it. It's a little bit of an odd one out, you know, bit like the ugly duckling, but hey, there's beauty in there somewhere, and I do appreciate the not so perfectly formed wonky addition, you know. So here we are again, 20 minutes. So I left the white dots to dry for 20 minutes. I poured the red, I left that for 20 minutes to dry, and now I'm pouring the white. This is a question I got on my last video about the sweat marks. There is potential here for the sweat marks, but I just don't see them being too much of a problem. They don't take away from the piece. If there is a sweat outline around your shape, I feel like it's almost defining it. It's like using a pen to outline, pretty much like I did with the Christmas tree decorations. I went in and used a Posca pen afterwards to outline. That's how I feel about sweat marks. There's a difference between the sweat marks that you get from this kind of Jesmonite, where you're piping a design, or the one in my last video where I'm just going crazy and splashing it everywhere, there's a difference between those sweat marks and the sweat marks that you get on a standard, say, blue tray that you've left in the mould too long. There is a huge difference between the two sweat marks. One is perfectly acceptable and adds to the piece, and the other one is a absolute tragedy and really hard to get out. So here I am. I thought the only backing colour could be pink, so I left them all a further 20 minutes. So bear in mind those white dots have now been in there an hour. I left it a further 20 minutes before filling up the moulds. Each of these moulds, again, these moulds are all linked below in my Amazon storefront. They take 100 grams liquid, 250 grams powder, and I mixed up enough for 3. This was enough to fill them all right to the very top, and now I'll be able to talk you through where I went wrong with this project. Honestly, there's always something. One day there's not going to be anything, and we're all just going to sit back in disbelief, and then you'll all unsubscribe. There's always something here. My plan was to get down into those ridges, into the lips of the tray, which is something I usually do. I go down into the lips of the tray with my silicone tool, my pointy edged silicone tool, to dislodge any air bubbles that have potentially got caught around that lip of the tray. So when we kind of demold, unfortunately, we do get air pockets. We get air pockets. And I was so mad about it. Because I'm so mad at myself sometimes when I'm like, why didn't you just take an extra 2 seconds, Claire? Just go round with your silicone tool, get those air bubbles out. Look, on the right by my thumb. Oh, as much as I loved it, I was like super excited that I loved it. There's an air pocket around the mushroom. Not sure what I could do about that. Probably brush it on first. This is, again, because I'm all very new to this piping technique. I would probably, next time I pour, just pour a little bit around the dried mushrooms. Use a brush to brush it around there so that no air pockets form in the space. And this one is as cute as it is, and I still love it. The air bubble, oh my gosh, the air bubbles. Where I was filling up the bases of the mushrooms, I just filled them up. Another error, because yeah, this is the wonky one. Can we all take a moment? Can we take a moment to send some love to the wonky one? But still cute, still really random, and yeah, I don't know. It was the air bubbles around the edges. Of course, I can sand those down so they're not so prominent. And you know me, guys. I don't mind an air bubble. I think it adds to the fact that it's homemade and it's not, you know, mass produced in a factory. But I am still obsessed and loving these designs. I'm not sure about the wonky one. Let me know your thoughts on the wonky one. I don't know what I was trying to do there. I don't know if I was trying to go, you know, a little bit artistic to get something completely different. But I couldn't stop here, guys. I made a whole other load. I made trivets. I made more trinket trays, a big trivet, a little trivet. And yeah, I'm going to show you those in a second. But just to let you know, I do finish these off by sanding the edges, those sharp edges. That is it. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you what else I made. So here are the others that I made, kind of taking away the lessons that I learned from getting the air bubbles and things like that. I made sure that I went around the edges. But this one here is a giant trivet. It's like an inch deep. I don't know where I was going or what I was thinking, but it weighs over 1 kg. This little trivet, trinket tray, perfect. No bubbles around the edges whatsoever because I use my tool. And then a miniature trivet. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to do more this week because I'm so excited by the patterns. I'm thinking lemons, limes, avocados. I don't know, I'm even thinking sheep for that farmhouse vibe. But yeah, let me know what you think I should do. And yeah, I'm gonna do some, but of course I can always add in a suggestion if you guys have any. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've loved them as much as I have. Oh, those air bubbles are secretly killing my soul, but I will try my best to sand them out and probably sell them as like B grade kind of products. And yeah, not my best, but shh. Jesmonite, man, what are you doing to me? See you all in the next video. Bye.